welcome to another video in Ryan GP's War Thunder plane analysis. First of all, prior to that, to introduce today's plane, I have to say that for the last days, well, you will notice that I haven't put a lot of plane analysis, that the rhythm of my uploads has gone slightly down. That's because, well, something has happened to me in real life, which has made me feel quite bad. I don't feel really well at the moment, and it's hard at times to find the motivation and the impulse to get some things done. And actually, I don't really feel like doing videos. But, well, you gotta do what you gotta do, and you guys deserve at least one plane analysis, if not each day, at least it's 2 days. If you're wondering, it's nothing huge. I mean, it's not something viral or something like that. It's something that happened that really is making me feel a little bit depressed, but will go away with time. I'm okay. There's nothing big, nothing too serious. So yes, that I just need a little bit of time. When I'm back again to my former self and feelings, I'll recover my usual rhythm of one plane analysis per weekday. But in the meantime, today we're going to take a look at the Bf-109G-2, which is a level 9 German fighter. Some clarification must be done at this point. You have all seen my Bf-109E3 video, and if you don't, do so. And a lot of people, I hear this a lot, that the F4 is a step backwards from the E3 because it has one less cannon. You see this? E3 to MG-FF cannons, F4 MG-151 cannon. 1 cannon. Wow, this plane has less firepower, must be worse. Well, no, not for several reasons. First of all, this plane is much faster, cleans much better, and accelerates much better than the E3. Second, it actually turns better than the E3 on the long run. It's the equal, but in long turning contests, usually this one wins because can use better the vertical because it has better acceleration. And finally, the distance is the difference is purely cosmetical. The 109 E3, you're going to see that here, has the cannons on the wings, widely separated from each other. So when you are hitting with these weapons, usually you're hitting with one of them only. So if you have just one in the center line, 90% of the time you're going to be hitting with no loss of efficiency, because with the A3 you'd be still hitting with one cannon anyway. Also, this cannon, the MG-151, fires better, much faster, has a better trajectory, is easier to aim, so basically it's a better weapon all around. The problem is that is a German 20mm cannon, and right now at the moment, and I don't know the reason, I don't know if it's because the ammo loads or whatever thing the game is doing to these cannons, the 20mm German cannons are the worst of all the nations because they are so unreliable. Sometimes you'll kill an enemy with a couple hits, but most of the times you'll need very long bursts to bring them down, and feels very lacking in firepower with planes like, I don't know, the Jak-3, the Soviet one. The Soviet 20mm hits much harder, the British 20mm hits much harder, the Japanese 20mm hits much harder. This thing just feels like shooting bananas at times. Other times it's very effective. It's very random. The thing is, it's too unreliable, and that actually is true with the A3 as well. I mean, it's not the gun itself. I think it's the way German ammunition is modeled. I don't know, but the thing is, yeah, this probably is the weak link in this plane. Also, there's another weak link, and it's common to all the 109s. They are not good at standing battle damage. The engine is very vulnerable to damage. So coolant losses and oil losses are pretty common. Engine fires are not really common, but not too rare either. So yeah, it doesn't take hits very well. It's not a sturdy plane by any means. But well, going back to the difference between the E3 and the F4. Faster, cleans better, actually turns better on the long run. The weapon actually is not a step backwards. Actually, they are pretty much comparable. But what's the difference between the F4 and the G2? Well, a different engine. The G2 has a more powerful engine, around 200 extra horsepower, but pays for it with sorry, sorry again. Pays for it. Oh shit! Sorry. I was saying around 200 extra horsepower, and but pays for it with worse aerodynamics and heavier frame. Actually, it's much heavier, around 450 kilograms between the F4s and the G2. And the wings are almost the same between both models. So the wing loading is much worse in this plane, and as such, it turns much worse. But as a compensation, it has much more horsepower, almost 20% more horsepower, and as such, it accelerates and climbs much better than the F4. So, is this a better or a worse plane than the F4? I think it's a better plane. Why? Because the 109s should be flown to their advantages, and the other advantages are acceleration and climb rate. So the more acceleration and climb rate you have, the better the plane you have. So yeah, this thing is better than the F4, and the F4 is a quantum leap from the E3, believe me. So back to the G2. Yeah, it's heavier, doesn't turn as well as the F4 by a wide margin, and F4 turns noticeably better than the G2. So don't turn in this thing. So what is this plane? I hear this a lot. Well, the 109 is a boom and thumber. No. If you remember my plane fighter styles video in the lessons of the fighter combat school, there are 3 different styles of combat: boom and thumb, turn and burn, and NA fighter. Is this a turn and burner? No, it's not an angle fighter. No, it simply doesn't turn well enough. So it's not a turn fighter. Is it a boom and thumber? No. Well, it can do boom and thumb. Every plane can do boom and thumb, even a bomber. But the problem is the plane good for boom and thumb? Is effective in that role? No, not really. Why not? Well, for starters, we talk about the weapons. The weapons are too unreliable. There's just one cannon. In a boom and thumb plane, you want to have the heavier firepower, the better. And you don't have this in the 109G2. Another thing you want to have is a very good dive and thumb. And this thing doesn't dive very well and doesn't thumb very well. Why? Because it's a very light plane. It's heavier than the F4, but it's still a very light plane. Also, in a boom and thumb, you want to have the better maneuverability you can at high speeds. Why? Because the thumb part involves very high speeds. And this plane is not the best at high speeds. Locks controls, feels a little bit clumsy at high speeds, doesn't respond very well to control, so it's not a boom and thumber. It can do the role of a boom and thumber, but it's not the best plane to do so. So what this is an energy fighter. This is actually the definition of an energy fighter. A plane that builds energy super fast. How? Accelerating and climbing. And that's how you use this plane: accelerating and climbing. There's no other secret to that. Of course, that involves some knowledge, and that's what this video is going to try to accomplish. Try to use acceleration, try to use that clean rate, maneuver a lot in the vertical. This plane shines in the vertical. Try to stay as little as possible in the horizontal plane, and you'll do well, as long as the 20mm doesn't shit on you, which happens quite a lot, to be honest. But other than that, other than this weapon, the plane is fantastic. Doesn't take hits very well, but this is an amazing plane. With this plane, you can really remain untouchable for enemy fighters. Extension maybe of the Yak 3. The level 9 Soviet plane, that thing is a monster. It's a much later war plane than this one, but well, whatever. Well, I think it's enough for the intro. Oh, hold on. We want to see. Average repair cost 1,900. Pretty cheap to repair for level 9. And it's a very good plane, trust me. I know there's a lot of bad rep about the 109 because it doesn't stand damage, because the 20mm cannon is unreliable, but the plane shines. Yes, you can make this thing sing. And just pissed off enemies to no end with it. You're going to see it. So let's get in on and see how this thing flies. First, let's get started on some defensive flying. Here you see me attacking a bullfighter. I get this kind of questions all the time. How to deal with a guy on your 6? How to shake him off? Well, you're about to see it. I'm just focused on that guy, but I notice something else is shooting me. An F4, 109 F4, is faster right now. So what I do is dive, build up my speed very fast. This is still coming back to me, and then I pull up and cut the throttle. You're in the middle of a high G turn, so you're blackout. The guy didn't notice that I have a good throttle, and now he's in front of me. And that's how you fly defensive. One of the ways, actually. So here we have another game. What you saw before is simply overshoot, forcing an overshoot. You want to do that all the time if you can. But be unpredictable, because if the other guy notices you have cut your engine, he'll do so as well and stick on to your 6. So just do it when he least expects it. Well, as I said, another game. Very bad time in this one. You can see there's a lot of rain. And as you can see, I always keeping a look on bullfighters. Those broken things that I really hope they get fixed soon. But well, he's getting under attack. I'm telling him, but I see he's being dealt with, so no reason to stay there. Also, I have a P-39 there, which is pointing his nose up. I'm giving me an easy target, so well, why not? Kill him and go on, keeping an eye on the bullfighter. I don't want to give my 6 to that guy. I notice he's turning, so I turn towards him. I see he's not aiming at me, so I put some rounds on him. And there you go. You saw there what a strong burst I put on him, and not even a critical. 20mm, what I'm going to say. I'll stick to behind him and try to close distances. I'm much faster, so I'm doing it easily. And try to lead him enough and kill him. Then I get a Carolina, which are very tough targets for this plane. 120mm gun only. I mean, and that 20mm gun. Those things really stand a lot of damage. See a lower Henkel 111. Try to hit, there you go. Try to hit the wings. And got a fuel tank explosion. Again, scanning low and around. Notice something is firing at me, but it's anti-air, so... See the Catalina again. So why not? Trying to go for him again. Drop the nose down. I know he's around here. There he is. And again, shooting him. Only with light machine guns. I know I'm not going to do a lot, so just blaze past him. Notice I have a TBF in front of me, but without cannon I'm not going to kill a lot, so I just pull up, stay in the vertical, bring my toes down again, and another pass with the same luck. And then they say bombers are easy to bring down. Whatever. Again, setting another pass. Hit fire by accident. And there you go, another pass. Stop firing because I notice a friendly is coming around. And reload because I had only 40 cells left in the same magazine, so yeah, well, hard things to bring down those things. I give up, simply level up, Seable name there, Jack 90, lot of lower targets, just beating my time, taking a look at what I'm going to go for. And the P4 is. So notice right now I'm more or less sticking to a boom and zoom plan. I mean, for the fight part, you really want to have someone fixated on you. You'll see that later. There you go. You saw at high speeds, I basically couldn't move the nose side to side. At high speeds, this plane feels very messy. So I just pull up, take a look at what's around me, a TBF up high, checking what's below, and trying to select what's going to be my next target. Right now it's all boom and zoom. But the thing is, you really want to attract someone's attention, so he goes for you. This plane is the master of turning tables on guys who think they are going to kill you. See an F4F, Hurricane, and there you go, the Hurricane is coming for us. We got his attention. So climb, 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 and then climb some more. The guy is still behind us, and he's hanging on his prop. And come down on him. Well, he's basically stopped in the sky, and give him hell. And that is an LE fighter. Using your superior sustained climb, because what I did wasn't a zoom climb. I entered the climb at maybe 300 kilometers per hour. That's not zooming, that's climbing, sustained. And come down on him. There you go, P40 also in the pass, and put the nose up. Yes, steady. Keeping the energy up. You also, I mean, in many ways a boom and zoom plane flies like an enemy fighter. Both make use of energy to win fights. So you want to keep your energy as high as possible, of course. And the better thing to do with this plane is to lure someone into thinking he's got you. He's behind you, for instance, and then you outclimb him, and before he realizes it, you are much higher than him and coming down while he's hanging on his prop. That's how this plane shines. Something a boom and zoom plane can do, of course, because a boom and zoom plane doesn't accelerate or climb as well. There you go, Bullfighter, lower. Just beating my time, choosing what I'm going to go for. The Bullfighter has my attention, but there are other potential targets. Just being patient. I don't want to rush. There's no need to rush in this plane. You rush, you die. And finally I see an SVD up there. Climb a bit, because I notice the Henkel 112 is coming for us. But he gets distracted by the Bullfighter, so he forgets about us. Pity, because how he tried to come up, now he'd be dead. Time for a dive, the Henkel is there, actually giving us a good shot, and there you go, kill. Now I see a 0 and wow, 2 guys in my 6. That's bad news. P4E, X86M2. I dab a bit, build up my speed, and then I level and use my superior acceleration to keep me in the run. And this pisses people off a lot. They are so close, yet they simply can't touch you. That's what I mean. If you keep your situational awareness up, there's nothing that can touch you. The P40 has given up, so has the 0, so we are clean. Okay. We are clear, clean, and able to maneuver again. See a Dauntless there. So I want to close distances and maybe get a shot on him. Still checking around the surroundings. Situational awareness in enemy fighters is vital. You want to be checking your surroundings a lot. And just not checking what's around, but also notice their motion, how fast they are. Because even a lower target can have a lot of energy if it's very fast. So don't feel safe just by being higher. Because the guys below also can have a lot of energy. The SPD has been taken out, so we have an F4U there. TI-43, but I got my eyes on the Corsair. Crossing with him. Those things are very tough. You need a lot of firepower to bring one Corsair down. So, well, just taking a look around. I notice he's totally focused on our bomber. He's not looking behind. And of course, what that means is that I'm able to close on him and to shoot him. But I fail by shooting. Get some good hits, but of course, German 20mm, good luck getting a fast kill with those in few hits. I basically botched my approach. I notice a buffalo down there. Still have time to try to get, there you go, the Corsair. And now the buffalo, which is behind me. I dab a bit to go build separation. Notice a P439. I'm pretty safe now that the guy behind me is not close enough to fire, so I can build my time. That guy simply doesn't know we are here. So, well, bad luck, I ran out of cannon. Otherwise, probably he'd be dead. But, well, shit happens. Check behind. We see, yeah, the buffalo is there. Much slower, still trying to get us. So it's time to climb. Something below us, the P39, but he's out of lead indicator, so no worries. The buffalo leaves the chase because he is distracted by the guy who has gone beside him, and I dive on the P39. There you go. This is low. Lower is doing a good cost crew downwards, however, but not enough to avoid the kill. And this is what you want to do. Attract enemies' attention, outpower them in a level run and climb, and then come down on them. So well, hike again. I see a TBF. It's in the clouds, so maybe he hasn't seen us yet. Seems not, at least, because he's not maneuvering. Now he's maneuvering. So now I guess he's seen us. Another very tough plane to bring down. Very, very hard to bring down. Sometimes you get lucky and get him in 2 hits, but they can take a lot of ammunition. And here, actually, I'm having... oh, he's on fire. Cool, he's going to die. Here I actually have a problem of tunnel vision. The buffalo is again focused on us, and he's joined by a bullfighter. So again, build up some speed, and when I get enough to keep the level run straight, I level. The bullfighter has a dead engine, so no chance he's going to get us. Try some very long range shooting, to no avail. Again, so close, yet so far. He's diving to build up some speed, So I follow suit. He's braking. Well, you know what happens when you brake. That the guy you were following now is in your six. And that's what happened. But I actually was in a very bad situation, to be honest. That buffalo got my six and soon I got tunnel vision, and you usually pay for that in this plane. I went away lightly, to be honest. Could have been much worse. So well, diving after the bullfighter, SVD, checking around, always keeping an eye around. The bullfighter has dived a lot. I don't want to dive that low, but now he's coming up. So I foresee he's trying to come for a head-on pass. So what I give him is my 6 in a pure climb. He got distracted, so I can dive on him totally undisturbed and go for him. Some hits and no luck. To be honest, most of the hits were machine gun. Machine guns are not going to do a lot. But well, still climbing. You see the game is almost over. And coming down again. I see someone down there. I'm checking, always check if someone is coming from down below upwards. And if he's doing so, go straight upwards and play the trick. I mean, it's basically the same card you want to play all the time. And that bullfighter got lucky. Very lucky. Very lucky. But well, you see that? The plane is very effective. You only have to play it to his strengths. 9 kills. That's a lot. And no deaths, of course. XP a lot, credits a lot, so there you go. Well, you saw that. Very effective plane when the 210mm cannon decides to shoot rounds and not bananas. But yeah, it's a very good fighter. Requires a little bit of knowledge, requires a lot of vertical use, demands you to use keyboard. Demands you can't fly this plane using mouse only. You have to use keyboard. There's no other way around it because the mouse controls are sloppy in the vertical, and this plane is all about the vertical. Well, there's not much more I can say about this plane. You saw it all. It's a very good plane and a very effective one, and it's one where if you fly it to its strengths, you will rarely die in. And when you die, you don't pay a lot. So yeah, it's very nice. A very nice plane. Of course, it's not as fun as a Spitfire, for instance, or a Zero. With a Zero, you can go in the middle of a football and just turn around and kill enemies one by one. With this thing, you have to be careful, have a very good situational awareness, maneuver a lot in the vertical, and you're going to curse this weapon a lot because it's going to steal you a lot of kills. I think if this can work at the way it's supposed to, I think I would have twice the times the kills I have in this plane. But well, it's the way it is. I hope at least that it gets fixed. Anyway, that's it. The 109. I hope you guys understand it better. The differences between the early 109s, the E3, the F4, and the E2, and you learn how to fly this thing to its strengths. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give me the thumbs up. Any comments you want to tell me in the comment section below. Any plane you want to see in future plane analysis, please make me know. And finally, if you haven't yet and you want to see more of these videos, subscribe. Again, I hope to feel better soon, and I hope to be a little bit more energetic soon, so I recover my usual schedule of uploading videos. In the meantime, well, I hope you understand, guys. Real life sometimes shits on you, and you can't always feel like making a video a day. Again, thanks for understanding, and see you later.